Okay, well, we wanted to say a very warm welcome to everybody, as Pete has already said, for our call for July the 7th, 2022. Glad each one of you have taken time out of your schedules to be with us. It's going to be a jam-packed presentation and discussion, and so feel free to interrupt or ask questions as we go along, and then there'll be some time at the end to ask more questions. So take it away there, Pete, and share a little bit more about why you are involved and have been for so long in LifeWave.
Thank you so much, Judy, and I really appreciate you opening it up here. And I super excited. I'm back in Canada. My fiance Hannah is down in Playa del Carmen with the rest of the crew there, holding down the fort. And yeah, we're super fortunate to be in LifeWave. We've got a wonderful, wonderful team. We're super excited. And folks, you know, most of you have heard my story, so I'm not going to go into that tonight, but I just want to really recognize the people that are on the call tonight, and just really this call is for you guys. You're going to hear from some great people tonight. And I know Crystal and Nicholas have been with Santos for quite a while, but we recently just got their attention and they're super excited. They're here tonight, so that's great. Nick is brand new. Rodger is part of Carl Krebs' team, and I think Corolla is as well. I think we've got Margaret Clausen on the call tonight as well. We're going to hear a little bit from her. She's just down here in Manitoba. She's super excited about the patches, and there's so much that we can share. But I want to begin tonight by just really welcoming you guys and sharing what happened in 2020 and what ultimately made the decision for me that I was out of excuses of why not to join LifeWave. And it was thanks to my wonderful sponsor and longtime friend, Kai Jacobson, in Hawaii at the time, now living in Puerto Rico. You're going to hear from him tonight, but he's been just an incredible support system, along with Robin and Gregory, our immediate upline. And we've all learned so much. And I just so appreciate the support that we get from our upline team. And it was my friend Kai, March of 2020, that just shared the LifeWave story with me. He had shared it with me many times, but I wasn't absorbing the frequency, just wasn't taking it in. And finally, in April of 2020, I actually started working the business and just started sharing it with so many people, and had just a great time with LifeWave and sharing it. And my story was my pain story, right? I mean, most of you heard it. I'm not going to go into that story today, but it was the fact that I could actually move again. I could sleep again. I was pain-free for the first time in years. It made a huge difference. And I, of course, sponsored my fiance, Hannah, from the Philippines, who's down in Playa del Carmen. She just had great success with the patches. And we just recently returned from a 10-day road trip in Mexico, visiting 10 different states in Mexico. And I know sometimes when we drive, she gets a little motion sickness, and she's like, put Eon on. And whenever she has motion sickness or any kind of pain, it's like the Eon patch is the first thing on top of the X39 that we're already using all the time. So I've had a great journey with the patches, and I've loved the product. And that's the primary reason why I joined LifeWave. It wasn't about the money. It was about the results, getting that result that I was looking for, and getting off of anti-inflammatories and pain pills and drugs and that kind of thing. So activating your stem cells with LifeWave X39, what an incredible way to work a business and to really succeed by helping other people. So I'm going to go through a few of these slides. And today, you know, the stem cell revolution is really, really hot. Everyone wants to look, feel, heal, and live younger. So obviously stem cells are the key. And X39, X49, we've got a great combination here, folks. And we're going to hear a little bit from some people here tonight that are getting really, really amazing results using these products. And it's going to help you to elevate your confidence in the product. And often that's what it is, confidence. It's first knowing the science, trusting the science, looking at what David Schmidt, the CEO of LifeWave, has created for LifeWave, and what the problem is today. I mean, obviously the problem is the older we get, the fewer stem cells we have. And by the age of 60, only a small percentage of those remain. So recognizing that and hearing real stories from real people of what this product can actually do is incredible. And I want to welcome anybody on the call here tonight. If you have any questions later on. We'll have a Q&A and we'll just open it up and you can ask any question about the products. If you have additional questions after, you're going to hear from some amazing people today. So I'm just excited, and I always love to open the floor up to my sponsor, Kai Jacobson, who's just done some phenomenal things. And I also want to announce that since we have some of Santos Panacci's people on the call here today, so wonderful. It's great to have you. We've made a really unique agreement with Santos Panacci that Lynette Smith and my fiance Hannah are actually working the admin for Santos Leg. And we have two key builders from the organization here already tonight. And there's going to be many, many more that are going to step up to the plate and really help expand LifeWave. So that's going to be really amazing. So Kai, I mean, he's the one that introduced me originally on a Zoom call with David Schmidt in 2020. And it was really amazing just to actually have the owner, the CEO of the company on a call with myself and Clarissa in the very beginning in 2020. And it was absolutely incredible. And Kai has developed a really good relationship with this man. And Kai, I want to turn it over to you at this time because I want you to share a little bit about the visionary founder, David Schmidt, the CEO, who you've gotten to know really well. And we were in Orlando last year at the convention. Oh my gosh, for anybody going to the convention this year in August, to hear this man speak and to rub shoulders with some of the incredible people on this LifeWave team that David Schmidt has put together is absolutely amazing. So Kai, my friend, I'm going to turn it over to you and get you to share a little bit about your experience of working with David Schmidt and what it's been like. So Kai.
Okay. Well, hi, everybody. My name's Kai. And, you know, it is really special that we have David in the company, or that he's created this company. It's really, I've been in network marketing for 45 years, and I've been in a lot of different companies and worked with a lot of owners. Most of them are pretty charismatic and dynamic, but most of them are really about the money and some of them aren't really fair or honest. You know, there's just all different types up there. And we really have a servant leader. David's really, really passionate about his products and his science, and his biggest goal, I mean, he's made a lot of money with LifeWave. I mean, LifeWave does $35 million worth of business a month. So it's not about the money anymore for him. Never really was. It's always been about his inventions. So from a little kid, he shared the story that his grandfather held 150 patents. He was a major inventor in the United States. And that's what he decided he wanted to do. We went to a museum that involved the guy that invented Bell, the telephone. He just had an aha moment when he was like 12 or 14 that he wanted to be an inventor, you know, that wanted to invent things. And he actually holds 120 patents now. He's getting very close to his grandfather, and he's still pretty young. And so his passion is to create products and things that will transform the world and cutting edge science. And he has a lot of big machines and things that are going to be coming into hospitals that work on this technology. And, you know, it will be even bigger than the patches. But when you get to the convention, you start hearing his bigger visions. And, you know, he has machines that work with cleaning up the ocean and creating the plankton, energizing it with some different types of frequencies that make them incredible to eat. And I think we're gonna have some products around plankton. And also it kind of cleans up the water and lowers the temperatures. You know, so he's got a very planetary view, and a lot of his inventions aren't in our company yet even. They're, you know, bigger inventions that aren't something you would sell through network marketing. So he's kind of like an Elon Musk. I mean, he's very well spoken. He's a genius, and he's not kind of like a flair guy like, you know, Elon Musk always likes the dramatics. David is very steady, and he's kind of more of a scientist, but he's got a very big heart, and his vision is to create a better world and to help people make a great livelihood by participating in LifeWave and be very generous. And you know, you know, and it's one of the old axioms of my spiritual practice a little bit is as above, so below. It's one of the oldest things ever written. And, you know, if you have a really good owner and servant leader at the top of your company, the culture of the company tends to be really good. It's only can be as good as the source. And we just have a great person who's got a big heart, is very fair, very honest, and I've had a lot of direct experiences with that. And it's really actually very rare in our industry. So that's a really great thing to happen. And he's always creating new stuff. We have such a plethora of, he doesn't want to launch them all at once. Like most companies die to have one product, like one of our 10 or 11 products, something that unique and that powerful and that special and cutting edge. Biomodulation is the cutting edge of science. So, having the founder and owner of our company be literally a wellspring of new products and new concepts and new things, there's no company built on that. There's no company that's built on that kind of thing. And so it's very special. It's a special community to be part of. And we're the only ones that have this technology and this kind of product with these patches that, turn on the switches in your body and work on light frequencies that, by the heat of your body, warming up the patch to send that message into your body to help you sleep, to get rid of pain, to increase glutathione, to activate your stem cells. It's really an amazing thing to be part of. So anyway, that's my story that I'd like to share tonight. Pete.
Thank you so much, Kai. Yeah, and your wisdom is incredible, and your knowledge in the space. I mean, you've been a network marketer your whole life, and longer than I have. I've been full-time 30 years in the industry. And one thing I came to realize after I had a result, because this is my favorite patch besides the X39, the Eon. I use the Eon, and it's been one of my go-to products since the day I started. And it was the product that really captivated my attention because the X39 was brand new at the time, 2.5 years ago. And we were hearing all these stories. More and more have emerged over the course of the last 2.5 years since I started LifeWave. But the glutathione and of course the Eon patch, this Eon patch, what it has actually done for me, it's nothing short of a miracle. And you know what? I'm so excited about that somebody asked me, what patch is that? Or what are you using? Or what's your pain like since your stroke? And I share my story gladly with anyone who will listen. So it's just breakthrough. You don't get this from health and nutritional companies. There's great companies out there. Don't get me wrong. There's great CBD products. There's all kinds of wonderful products on the market. But as Kai was saying, the technology that we get here with light therapy and photobiomodulation, it's really something special for the times here. And with glutathione, I mean, ancient scientists and people that have worked with light for years and years, even the Greeks, I mean, they know that it caused specific changes within the body. And that's something that David Schmidt has just mastered. Now, I'm not a master at explaining the technology, and neither do you need to be. And that's what's so amazing about LifeWave. They've got all these clinical trials, all these studies. They're really deep reads. And if you are someone who loves to dig deep and dive deep, it's all in your back office. And I encourage people to go back there and read it and study it if they're interested in knowing about the technology. But it's quite something. So the focus for the last 10 years has been anti-aging and regenerative science. And as Kai mentioned, David Schmidt is on the forefront of this. And my friend Carl Krebs, he shared an amazing, amazing video with me not that long ago. And I didn't even know this video existed. It was from Dr. Paul Christo. He is, and I'm going to get Carl actually later on to talk a little bit about this, because he brought my attention to this video where David Schmidt was interviewed by Dr. Paul Christo on a podcast called Aches and Gains. I probably listened to it 5 times already, because every time I listen to it, it's him and Suzanne Summers. It's an older podcast, but it's worth every moment of your time to listen to that podcast. And it's not short. I mean, it's not long. It's quite short. It's only 12, 15 minutes. There's 2 parts. And it's just between David Schmidt and Suzanne Summers. It's amazing, the interview from Dr. Paul Christo, and how stunning these patches and how convincing it is how this technology works. So I'm really excited to be a part of LifeWave, because we live in some strange times, obviously, since 2020, and glutathione is massive in our world too. And I know Peter Langelier, who you're going to hear from tonight on the call as well, he's really, really big on glutathione and stem cell activation, and his team is really, really excited. So we've got a great PowerPoint. It's in your back office, the one that I'm sharing on the screen right now. And anybody who wants to go through this PowerPoint piece by piece, I mean, you can download it in your back office, and it's just a great piece to have as a reference point for anyone who wants some more information about LifeWave X39 patch and how it is the holy grail of aging and restorative science. It's just amazing when you understand and wrap your mind around the technology. I didn't understand it for the first year and a half that Kai was trying to like promote it to me, and I just wasn't understanding what this thing could do. And sometimes you don't need to understand the science 100%. All you got to know is, and this is the switch right here, guys, 100% money back guaranteed. If it does not work for you, we'll give you your money back. And there's pretty much no question asked. That's a 30-day money back guarantee as a distributor, 90 days as customers. So I'm in love with the product. I know Hannah and I, we just love sharing LifeWave with everybody we come in contact with. And you're going to hear from some great people tonight. And I want to start it off tonight with a real quick product testimony, business building testimony from Peter Langelier. He's from, I think, the Netherlands, or correct me if I'm wrong, Czech Republic. I never remember where you're exactly from originally, Peter, but you're in Playa del Carmen, and you love the patch technology, and you've done a great job. So I want to welcome Peter Langelier to the call and just to share a little bit about his knowledge and what he's passionate about in LifeWave. So Peter, if you could unmute yourself and come and share with us, please.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Kai, for the introduction also. Yeah, this is, we came to Playa del Carmen 15 months ago, and I became sick here. And before I became sick, I met Pete on a meeting about stem cell technology. So that activated my interest already. And I asked his card, his business card. But I did not mention too much. Yeah, I was too busy, you know, and put his card on my nightstand, by the way. Then a few weeks later, I become sick, really sick. I poisoned myself with too much habanero, spicy food for 3 weeks. And I become so sick, and people were thinking, wow, he's going to die. I said, oh no, I'm not going to die, but I don't want to have any doctor. And after 10 days of high fever, I was like, I have this card from this man that was talking about stem cells. I'm going to call him. So I called Pete. He said, I can come over at 5 o'clock in the evening if you like, and I can patch you for free. So he patched me with this super stuff. Is our master antioxidant, glutathione. And of course, I already knew about glutathione because I used it, the injections to help people. But that does like only 25%. And this boosts your glutathione levels in 24 hours with about 300%. That's amazing. I never found something like this. So he patched me with this. He patched me with X39, stem cell patches, and for the pain, because I had joint pain everywhere. My feet were like swollen, like double. I could not even wear my shoes. And the next day, yeah, I think 7 a.m. in the morning, I saw my feet where he placed my the glutathione, and it was, whoa, it's normal. And the other foot was still swollen. So I switched the patch from one foot to the other foot, and in the same evening, that foot was also normal, back to normal. And I told to my partner, we need to have this. This is amazing. This is amazing technology. I love it. And I love the way how it works. So fast, non-invasive, non-transdermal. It works with frequencies. That's, you know, it's out of this world. It's amazing technology. So we ordered our first diamond package. And I was so enthusiastic. I started patching everyone because within 5 days I was okay, you know, I could walk again. I felt a lot of energy. I felt really good. And we started patching other people. I was connected to some people in Holland. And I signed up some people in Holland also as diamonds. So we had like in 5 weeks, I think 12 diamonds signed up. So that was really fast. And I'm so thankful that I ever asked for the card from Pete and that he introduced me to this amazing product. And also my partner, she had more than 20 years back pain, and he patched her with the Eon and X39. And after 45 minutes, almost no pain. And she was always in pain, like between 1 and 10 was 15. So always pain. And this changed her life, of course, also. And yeah, we ordered on her name the second package after 2-3 weeks, second diamond package. And yeah, we start spreading the news about this amazing product. So, and then, yeah, everything went so fast. And yeah, I'm super happy with this product. It's super happy about the owner, how like moderate, how yeah, how do you say in English? It's yeah, he's amazing. I always say to Nika, this guy is the Nikola Tesla of health. So yeah, it's amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Peter, one of the things I was going to ask you to share a little about, you've had some great success lately, not just with the product. I mean, you're obviously a huge believer in the product and you're patching everyone, and you've registered some really cool people as of late. One of them I know is Tony Sayers. We've had him on interview. Yep. And Hannah and I have been on his show. He's interviewed us, and he's just super committed. And it's a huge win to sponsor people of that caliber. Also, like the stem cell doctor, the last one that you sponsored here. I mean, how are you attracting people like this, Peter?
Yeah, I go to some meetings and then I just meet these people, you know. I think, oh, wow, there's going to be a small lecture about stem cells. I'm going, and then I will see. I was first thinking it's about LifeWave products or whatever, but it was injectables. And I introduced the people to the X39, and they asked me the more than 80 clinical studies about X39. So I sent them to them, and yeah, I said within a week they signed up. They were like, wow, that's amazing to support our business already where we use stem cells. When we send these medical tourists back home, that they can support themselves with something as easy as a patch. You know, it's super easy. Everyone can do this. You don't need a medical. You know, you don't need to be a doctor or having a medical degree to put some patches on your body or on your clothes, even, because it works even within a distance of 2.5 inches. So yeah, introduce more and more people, and there are some people in the pipeline also that are going to try this. And I use also the glutathione and X39 and carnosine for people who had vaccination damage. So people are shaking after vaccination and want to break down the spike protein and graphene and all the other stuff. And it works like within 8 hours in some cases. So this is amazing. And yeah.
Yeah, Peter, we've had some great results talking to people about what is referred to it as the jab. I mean, there's a lot of people that have had serious concerns, and we're not here to debate pro or against. This doesn't matter. People have taken the jab. You know, I mean, there's many people that are in a panic state and they are wondering what they can do. And we always give the recommendation of using the glutathione to detoxify your body and drink lots of water and do that. And we've had people come to us and just say, oh my gosh, what this has done for me is nothing short of a miracle. So we've had some really good results. And I know you're attracting some of the real positive people in your world, Peter. And it's just real obvious that you're excited about the product. And I really want to thank you, Peter, for coming on and sharing your story. We've got so much more to get through here yet in the 1 hour that we allocated for this webinar. So Peter, to you and your partner, Nika, thank you for everything that you do in LifeWave, and looking forward to seeing you take advantage of this exciting contest LifeWave's got going on in July here to really elevate to the next level in your LifeWave business. For those that don't know, it's a really cool contest on, and I know someone who's going to be cashing in on that contest, and that's my next guest speaker, my friend Carl Krebs, who just came back to Canada here as well. We're actually literally 500 feet apart from where I'm broadcasting now, where his home is in Manitoba, Canada. So we had 3 months down in Mexico, and I know Carl Krebs has his sights set on director within the next couple of weeks here for sure. So I want to turn it over to my friend and business partner, I'll call him, Carl Krebs. And he's got one of his new managers that are coming up that's on the call here as well, I think. So Carl, I'll let you take it away here and just share some energy with us, as you always do, my friend.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, it's really good to be back in Manitoba. The welcome into Canada wasn't very welcome, but that's how Canada is. Peter, so good to see you. Pedro, my friend, loved your time in Mexico with you. You are a real committed person in what you do, and I've learned a lot from you. And I have someone who probably isn't on the call with us tonight, but she's still interested to talk to you about the patching protocol for a symptom that manifests itself in autism. And I think you know what I'm talking about, because we never name illnesses or diseases here. We just name what the symptoms are, but our patches are able to do incredibly good things for people that are suffering from a lot of different things. Yes, I'm back in Manitoba. I'm excited. The contest is going to be great. I've been hanging around as a manager far too long. It's time to go to director. So, and I think that's going to happen because of some of the wonderful people that have joined my team. Roger and Carola are on the call here. I see Anita is on the call here. BJ, glad to see your recovery from your injury has put you back on the road. And I look forward to doing that sign up with you later, possibly today or tomorrow with your new customer. I want to spend a couple minutes and I want to touch on something that Kai mentioned about the owner and how good ownership manifests itself in a company. And this is a very, very tacit example of what happened today is I ordered some patches on my way down to Mexico, and I had them shipped into my cousin's address in Casa Grande, Arizona. Well, it was all confirmed that the package arrived. I did not make it, and my departure was such, and I left and I thought I would pick them up on the way back. Unfortunately, my relative succumbed to cancer, and I learned on my return that she had passed away and that the people had gone through the house, whoever was in charge, and just, purged everything. I lost some pretty good stuff. One of the things I did lose was a shipment of glutathione. And once I confirmed that it was nowhere to be found, I went and called today, finally, called LifeWave and explained the situation. This is where you get to see what a company's integrity is all about. I explained to them what happened and that the package had been confirmed and delivered, but it had been thrown out just as nobody knew what it was because she wasn't there to tell anybody. And the representative at LifeWave was first of all consoling and saying, for my loss and thank you. That was very kind. And without hesitation, he immediately put in a reorder of that product. That's $200 worth of product that he didn't have to go to management to get an approval. You and I know that items of rather much lower value are often subject to someone approving it, that companies don't give their representatives any authority. This guy clearly did not have to consult with anybody, and he made the call on the spot, and they're reshipping me my glutathione now into Canada. And I thought, you can have a great product, but you got to have a good company, and you got to have the kind of management that's not afraid to push authority down the line to the point of sale kind of people that this customer service guy was about. And I thought this is just another example of the kind of culture, the kind of management and the trust and the faith that LifeWave demonstrates, even in a situation like this. I was completely blown away that this was that easy to resolve that soon. And I think it's very important because Kai mentioned it earlier. that companies, products, yes, the product can be great. And if the management is lousy, you're going to have a big problem on your hands, because they will somehow mess it up and then you can't go forward. But when you have such an incredible product like LifeWave for what it does, and I love the simplicity that we always say, is not there to diagnose, cure, or heal any known disease or sickness. You know, you look at big pharma, and that's all they talk about is how they're going to solve everything in your body. And here's all the side effects. We have this wonderful, simple product of which we do not make those claims, and it does more than what big pharma does. It's an amazing paradox to see this, that we see have a product so simple in its design, but complex in science. And as Pete said, we don't have to understand it. The thing is, we have to use it, and it proves itself. And so to those of you that are new, and to some of my people as well, I know there's this area where we say, I want to see what it does for me first. Trust me, you can go out on the confidence of other people whose testimonies are strong and real and significant, and go ahead and confidently, you know, market the LifeWave product. You don't have to wait for your experience to get active. There are enough testimonies in our group that will give you the wind in your sails to go out and talk about how wonderful LifeWave is, because it certainly makes a difference. And when I put a patch on someone and within 20 seconds, their pain drops in half, tell me where you can get a pill for that. Tell me where there's anything you can apply to your body that can do what an ice wave patch can do. And I've had that experience, and the people are just blown away. They say, what's happening? That's the magic. It's the complex science coming together in a simple application. Yes, this wafer thin patch can do incredibly more than anything. It's almost like in the Bible, the story of the mustard seed. You know, I mean, a tiny little mustard seed can grow to be 6, 8, 10 feet tall. Our little patch, as simple as it is, does incredible things when we just simply put it on and put our faith in it. Amazing thing happens. Amazing things happen. So beside me here, I'm going to introduce her in a minute, is my friend Margaret Kloss. And Margaret and I met 2 years ago, a year ago, actually, a year ago. And she became my housekeeper, and she became my friend. And on one particular day, I think she overheard a conversation that Pete and I were having in my house, and she wanted to know, what is LifeWave? And I didn't know she had issues with pain and discomfort, but we put one on her, and within 24 hours, she was back. She says, I need that. And what I like is, I kind of handpicked Margaret because she has a unique position in the low speaking community of Manitoba. And that's an audience that I can't reach, but that's an audience that has as many issues as any one of us have. And she has a wonderful way, in her very simple way, of explaining to people about the patches. And they keep coming to her over and over again. So she's actually developed a very good retail business out of her home of selling the patches to people. And of course, I assist with the technical side of signing people up. And Margaret is one sign up away from going to manager. And I know she's excited about it, as she has been for over a year now, about what LifeWave has done to her. So I'm just going to rotate this computer a little bit and bring Margaret onto the scene here. Welcome, Margaret. Tell us about LifeWave from the moment you first put a patch on.
Hello, my name is Margaret, and I will just share something about these patches. I'm just very excited to use them. And I had the X39, that was the first one that I got been patched, and I had pain in my back. But then the next day, then I felt that I had slept good and didn't have the pain. So then that's when I came back and I said, well, I just want to sign up. I didn't want to know what it cost or anything. Like I was just right into it. And since then I have used the X39 for my, where I put it on my neck, and I lost 25 pounds.
That's one of the most amazing things. It's not listed. It's kind of like a wonderful little side benefit. But one of the results of using X39 is that you've actually lost a significant amount of weight.
Yeah.
To the point where your brother didn't recognize you.
Yes. And yeah, and then I started using more and more of the different ones. So, and I had like arthritis, I have that too. And I have used the X49 for that. And like I have skin cancer, and I use those in my face. the X49 for that too.
Actually, when it comes to that, we won't name cancer, but we'll name the fact that you had a condition on your face and it resulted in surgery and it left you with a fairly significant scar.
Yeah.
Talk about the scar now.
Oh, that the scar is basically gone. Like a lot of people say, oh, they can't even see it anymore. But like, because I know it's there, I see a little bit, but no, that is so far gone already. Like I'm very happy for that. And yeah, like that's, for me, that's just working so good that I cannot just sit still and keep it for
Yeah,
myself.
you're pretty excited about it. I visit you at the greenhouse where you work and say, are you the Margaret with the patches?
Yeah, I had this summer 4 of them what came there and they said they've been told that they would catch me at the greenhouse. So they were looking for me, and sure enough, a couple of times they came to me and asked if they could see Margaret. And I said, I am the one. So I helped them out and I gave him, I have sold some patches and I gave them my cards and I said, this is how you can reach me. And if you want to stand up, I said, Carl's my right hand side, he helps me out right away. And I think we have done a very good job to help people. Like for me, that's, I guess, very exciting to see what that does to the next person. And so when I was with one lady came in and she said, my husband has gout. So what can I do for him? Or what kind of tomatoes can I plant it that he would not get that? And then I told her this, and she came to the meeting and I gave her some patches. And I had the same problem. I have gout and I used the X49.
Okay. Again, you have to figure the naming of a condition. We don't do that, but I know she's understanding what she's describing, and it's manifests itself in a lot of different ways. But I'm excited that she's going to be manager, and we're going to toast that day when you go to manager. That'll be good, and I'll go to director. And again, the culture here, the upline, the downline, the support, even in my example of phoning customer service as a person and receiving immediate help and the faith that they put in you and the support up and down the line. That's what we do, us as distributors who bring other people in. I made a commitment to Margaret, to the rest of my team, that I'm available for them anytime they need me. That's what we do, because I've learned that from people like Pete and from Kai and from Gregory and Robin. These people are always available, and that's what strengthens this company, that you can actually get a hold of people even at the senior presidential director level. They'll be available, they'll answer your call, they'll come on with a 3-way call. If we keep doing this, 35 million is going to become a much more significant number. One more thing, though, touching on what Kai was talking about, David Schmidt's commitment to the environment. As part of that, I saw this also in a video where he is committed to also helping to achieve greater growth in our plants. And I know he talked about plankton, but even in trees and such that will grow naturally. So David's commitment is global, and it's not just for our health. Now the vision is expanding more and more, and every interview and every stage that he takes, he commands respect for his knowledge and his expertise. And we are, being shepherded by this great man. So it's wonderful to be part of that company. And I encourage all of us to just get excited about it. Don't wait for your testimony to develop. There are enough testimonies now in our group that will allow you to go and confidently speak about the product. So thanks for having me on the call tonight, Pete.
Hey, Pete, I want to say one thing about what Carl was talking about a little earlier about the mustard seed. And you were talking about healing in terms of the mustard seed and about, and it's also about the business. There's a Jim Rohn, one of my favorite teachers about network marketing. He had a story about the mustard seed in terms of marketing. And he said that, a mustard plant, I don't know if you've ever seen a wild mustard plant. They're huge and they've got all these seeds. They've got all these little pods on them. And there's literally hundreds of thousands of seeds on one plant. And they fall out of the plant and, rains and water carries them different places. And some land on asphalt, some land on cement, some land on really hard-packed ground, some end up in a field of grass, and some end up where there's some kind of new loose soil. and they grow into a new plant. And so he says it's just like that when you're building. You're going to share your wonderful, we talk about technology and like, how much information is in one of those teeny little seeds. I don't know if you've ever seen a mustard seed. They're like if you put a pencil on a piece of paper, it's a dot. And they're just teeny. And, these thumb drives you put in your computer that, have all this information. Well, that little seed has all that information to make a mustard plant. And, you pick another seed, like a little lettuce seed, and it makes a lettuce. It's the most incredible technology that's ever out there, these seeds. Well, when you share this with people, it's like a mustard seed plant. Some of your wonderful seeds that you're putting out there are going to land on cement. Some are going to land on, something well planted already. There's grass growing. There's no way that it's going to start. But some of them are going to land on fertile land. And then maybe it might get really sunny and dry it out and they die. But some of them, only a few maybe, will catch and start to grow really well. But guess what? That new plant will have another 100,000 seeds and it'll start to do it. And eventually you'll end up with a whole field of mustard plants or a whole network of distributors under you. And just know that many of those seeds will fall on not fertile ground, and you have to be okay. And that's what we were talking about when we first came on with Judy, about working with the willing and putting your time into the right places where it's really happening and nurture. And it's the story of the mustard seed, and that's the story that Jim Rowan, one of the teachers in our industry, shared, which I've always liked, because sometimes I go, gosh, I just keep sharing this and my seeds are not catching, but eventually they do. Eventually they will fall on some fertile ground and you will be amazed what comes up. And I just wanted to share that piece of the business. And it's the same for the healing too, but it's the way that the business works.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for tying that off. It's perfect, because we are in the business of seeding. Absolutely. We don't know who's going to take root and who's going to become the next big distributor. You just don't know, but we have opportunities everywhere to share LifeWave. It just fits into almost every conversation, because as we age, our aches and pains, or aches and gains, as Paul Christoph talks about, we have incredible opportunities everywhere. There's not a time or a place where you can't bring LifeWave in, and not about the selling, but just about the telling, and then they want to know more. Wonderful. Thanks for tying that off.
Hey, Carl, thank you so much for sharing what you shared. I had my computer go up midstream of your conversation, so I came back via the phone. So, but really appreciate what you shared, what Margaret shared. Is also worth noting is that Margaret used to be in my network for like 20 years ago, and you know what? Shame on me. Never once did I reach out to Margaret, yet I knew of her. She was in my network in the previous health and wellness network marketing company that I did, but I never reached out. Here you have her, and in your team, great for you, Carl, for continually sharing the message with people and letting your enthusiasm grow and attract the right kind of people to your business. So I'm super excited about Margaret going to manager and you going to director, Carl, and we'll be doing plenty of activities here with LifeWave together. So thanks again, Carl, for all that you do and all you contribute to this team. And anybody else from your team, Carl, that wants to come on and maybe share a little bit? Does Roger maybe want to say something, or anybody else you have in mind, Carl, here that would like to share anything, whether it's business or product related?
I'm seeing Roger and Kroll are both on here. This is a husband and wife team. I love their enthusiasm for LifeWave. They're fairly new, and Anita as well is on here. And I know Anita is part of our planning team. We're going into a festival here that is right down the road from us. It's a big festival, takes place every year, or it usually does, but with the last 2 years, all these festivals have been canceled. But this town of 10,000 swells to 100,000 people on a weekend, and we've booked a booth in there for LifeWave. We're super excited about putting our team in there and talking to thousands of people that weekend. So Anita, do you want to talk about that, or Roger or Corolla? I don't want to put you guys on the spot, but the floor is yours if you want to.
And if they're not prepared, that's fine. They may not be in a place where they can speak or turn the camera on. And again, don't want to put anybody on the spot, but Judy, you know what? While we wait to see if anybody else wants to step up, if they do, I would love to hear a little bit more from you, Judy, because I know you're going to the LifeWave convention in August in Orlando. So I know you and Arnie are super excited about that. Carl and I went to the last year's convention, Orlando, and wow, it was so powerful, so amazing. I would love to hear from you a little bit more, Judy, about your enthusiasm and your plans to attend the LifeWave convention in August and what the dates are.
Sure, thanks, Pete. But I also wanted to make sure when I'm finished here, I see that BJ has tried a few times to say something. So let's make sure we go to BJ as soon as I share about the convention.
Oh, perfect. Thanks, Judy.
So August the 18th to the 20th is the LifeWave convention in Orlando, Florida. There's still, I think you can still register. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kai. I think you can still register to go to the convention. There's room for hotel, not at the actual hotel where the convention's being held, but very nearby. So whoever is your upline, they can help you with that, or LifeWave customer service can help you with that. Kai, is that not true anymore?
Yeah, it's a hotel right across the street, and they're going to have buses. It's a big
That's right.
street, but it's really close. But it's automatically, when you go to the site, it shows you that's where you register. It is part of the event, and
Right,
so
exactly.
you don't have to ask for anything special. Just know that it won't be in the actual hotel because it's sold out. But they've expanded it, so you can still come to the convention.
Yeah.
You might shuffle back and forth a few times. Just 10-minute walk or little short bus ride.
Yes. Yeah. LifeWave is actually paying for a free shuttle to shuttle you back and forth. So my husband and I are really excited to go. I'm a director and my husband is a manager in LifeWave. And so we both really are excited about going and meeting people and giving them a hug in the flesh finally after so many Zoom calls. And I'm particularly interested in not only just networking with fellow people who care about our health, but also, of course, to get to see David Schmidt and hopefully shake his hand. But this is a special gift that LifeWave has given my husband and I. We won the trip to Mexico and said we could not take that trip, and instead they said, well, we have an alternative gift to give you instead, and it was a year's worth plus a few extra months of X39 patches, plus the ticket to the convention, plus the 3 nights in the hotel. So this has finally become a reality after all these months of waiting. So we're super excited to go, and I would encourage anybody that even last minute, jump on a plane and get there, because it could catapult your business and your believability in the product to a whole nother level. So that's enough for me. And so maybe over to BJ.
Oh yeah, I just want to share a bit of an experience that I've gone through. Yeah, was it June 13th? I was working on my roof and I was replacing rotten wood, and I fell through the rafter, broke 6 ribs and punctured a lung. And yeah, I was in a lot of pain. But the thing is now, it just so happened the day I was in the hospital for 2 days. The day I got out, my patches arrived, my X39 patches. So on the way back in the car ride, I put one on right away, and I've been using it since. And nobody can really believe how quickly I've healed, because I'm on the road in 3 weeks now. And my side was solid purple. And in less than 3 weeks, it was almost all gone, the bruising. So it's not completely all there, but I like to think that this had something to do with the patches.
Oh, BJ, that's a great story. And obviously you're in your truck right now and you're on the road. And are you in Carl's team, or where are you exactly, BJ?
Yeah, I'm in Carl's team.
Oh, excellent. Carl and Wilmer, I think, are directly under one another. Wilmer's in Tabor, Alberta, also part of that trucker community. So that's a great story, BJ. So keep using that X39, my friend, and maybe try X49 as well. It's amazing. I've heard some phenomenal stories of people that have broken bones and different things, what the benefits have been for them. So I don't have a personal story with X49 yet, but I know there are plenty. So maybe someone in the room that has a little experience in this area can share a little bit with BJ here, their experience about what else they could maybe use on top. I know, Kai, you've got a ton of experience here. Maybe you could talk to that for a moment, Kai.
Well, X49 goes along with X39. They both do different sets of gene expressions of stem cells that work on things. And the X39 does a much bigger range of ones, but the 49 covers ones that don't get affected by, it's a different copper peptide that it activates, that sends a signal to produce that set of gene expressions. And they're a little bit more involved in body sculpting, muscle, connective tissue, and bones, particularly bone density. So, you know, that certainly could be a great companion product. And of course, the carnosine is always good with the X39. It's the standard we always used to use for a damaged body like what you're going through, BJ. And so, you know, it's a little cheaper. It's something that we've used for many, many years in combination. The carnosine and the X39 work really well together. And I was just thinking, if you're driving down the road in your truck right now, you should be looking for X39.
I just want to talk about that. That's why my hand's in the air, Kai.
Come on,
I think you'll get the more detail from Carl on the X39.
You know what? That was the fun. We had this idea going, or just over drinks or just socializing there one night. And we thought, why wouldn't we go and appeal to the trucker community? We came up with Exit X39 Convoy. And of course, BJ was one of the first guys to get in. And after, I think, our first meeting, became part of our community. And I think, BJ, you're going to have a wonderful testimony as this group grows. I saw 4 more people join today. And we really want to reach out to our trucker community that are so heavily dependent on the things that are not good for them, that sit at the cash register, tempting them, energy drinks, pills, and all the like. And we've got incredible energy patches, our X39, our X49. So I'm really excited. I couldn't believe when you told me how that accident happened and how fortuitous it was that those patches came right at the right time. And I saw the bruising. You sent me the pictures. It was incredible. I just thought, this guy's in a world of hurt, but glad to see you recovered that fast, BJ. Great testimony going forward.
Pete, you will want to unmute. Pete, you're still muted.
Okay, thank you, BJ. Sorry, thank you, Judy. I didn't realize I was muted there. So I love that story, BJ. Just continue that healing journey, my friend. And when I saw the X39 campaign from Carl, I thought it was sheer brilliance. And I'm glad you took him up on that. We're one of the first to join. So keep trucking to better health, my friend, BJ. Great to meet you down the road as well. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. And my fiance Hannah's down in Playa del Carmen, holding the fort down. We've got so much going on there. I don't know if she wants to come on. Hannah, do you want to unmute yourself and just come on and say a few words? We just had that beautiful 10-day trip to the West Coast, and I know you're such a strong advocate for the patches, and everyone you meet, and you're like, oh, you got to put this E on, you got to put this X39 on, and her vision story is just phenomenal. Many of you heard it, but I want to give her the opportunity to unmute herself and just come on a little bit, Hannah, if you want to say a couple of words here. If not, that's okay. But I give you the opportunity, Hannah.
I just like to, good evening, everyone, but I just like to welcome Nick Morodo, the one we just registered. Nick, if you are there, I want you to let them see. This is the person we just registered with Lynette and Kai this morning, and I want him to welcome to the community, to the team. He is in Toronto, Canada, and maybe one day he wants to come here in Mexico. So we'll be glad to meet you here.
Yeah, good job, Hannah, with you and Lynette, Kai's partner, working together and bringing Nicholas in. I was on that Zoom today and yesterday, brought another gold member in, and Nicholas and Crystal are here tonight. They're from Puerto Morelos, now in Minnesota, and they're excited because Santos is committed to helping them. So it's people helping people. We're putting some people under Nicholas and Crystal, getting them ramped up. Hannah is so committed to the project here, along with Lynette, and they're doing such a beautiful job. And I just want to recognize that and really appreciate all that you do, Hannah. So but tell us a little bit about your eyesight. That's the one thing that I just thought was so incredible. I know you've shared it before, but that's the first thing I realized when I introduced you to patches in 2020 is like, sweetheart, where's your glasses? You always had glasses on. And all of a sudden, there were no more glasses on our WhatsApp call. And I thought your story is just worth sharing to those that haven't heard it again. Maybe just share real briefly, Hannah.
I think I am one of the lucky person that benefited from the patches, because I remember that it took only 8 days for my eyes to be clear again. My vision is so clear, and now the pain of using eyeglasses disappeared, not anymore. It's so there's so many things that are that the patches will benefit, will our body benefit, like the motion sickness that I have when traveling. I can only travel like 4 hours. The most is 4 hours. More than that, I will vomit when I'm traveling. So when I have that patches, I can travel as much as I want, land travel. I do not have any more motion sickness. I will just place, when I feel dizzy, I will just place in my stomach 1 Aeon. Then motion sickness will not happen anymore. And the migraine, I use X39 all my, the whole of from 2020 up to now. I didn't stop using the X39, and when I have some pain, right away I have to get Aeon. And for sleep, Silent Night and Carnosine is very good. Then I use Alavida. I use Alavida for the skin. I don't know, but my skin really does not improve that much. But the allergy that I have of eating foods, seafoods, I do not anymore experience that allergy in my skin. I think that's because of X39, really, the X39 and the glutathione for the skin. And I also use Alavida.
Yeah, Hannah, you've been an incredible advocate. I know every time you're around people, you're like, patch, to put a patch for this, patch for that. And just a huge believer and a huge advocate for the patches constantly. And from someone from the Philippines and from her community of teachers, I mean, they were hundreds and hundreds of teachers in her community there. And you were part of what, 500 teachers there, Hannah, in your school division, and you're a math teacher there in the Philippines. And I know that her vision has become so crystal clear. I can hold my phone across the table and upside down, she can read my message. And it's like, wow, that's incredible eyesight. That's what you call 2020.
So clear.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So thank you, Hannah, and really appreciate you. And we've come to the end of the hour here, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to just really thank each and every one of you for taking the time to be on the call here tonight. And Kai, if you would like to wrap it up with a few closing words, we'll end it on that note. Appreciate you as always, my wonderful friend and sponsor, Kai Jacobson. Maybe Kai's left already. I'm not sure.
Kai, you're muted.
Can't hear you, Kai.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I was just saying, have fun. You know, just really enjoy this. It's a business that you can get a lot of pleasure because you're helping people, and just make it fun and enjoy it and lean into that part of it. And when the other parts come up, just kind of push them aside and keep going forward.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Kai, for your commitment. Remember, the Success Team call is the first Thursday of every month. And we'll be back here again in August, but there's plenty of support in the Live Younger community that Robin and Gregory do. If you're not part of our LifeWave Success Team WhatsApp group, just contact your sponsor and get added to the group. We love helping you and appreciate, again, everyone for taking the time out to be on this call tonight. And we'll end the recording. If anyone wants to stay, ask a few questions, we'll be here to help answer any questions.